Okay, so in the next 40 years, we built as much as has been built in the entire history of mankind. This is not something Jan and I we have found out. This is actually some very, very clever people that have a lot of surveys and said, okay, this is what's gonna happen. And we heard in the video before where the manager, he said, why don't we reuse it? Is there enough steel? So when we look into what we're gonna need for, you can say, materials, I'm quite sure that the resources we have right now, we don't have enough. So that's why it really makes sense to look into all our demolition projects and see this as materials, and maybe see it a much higher focus, and maybe also look at them, look at the projects a little bit before you actually stand there and said, well, this we can use this and this and this, because if we really should reuse it, maybe we need to have the information a lot much more earlier. So in Denmark, we about 40% of waste in weight is coming from the construction side. 40%. That's quite a lot. I don't know how it is. I have not dig into all to you, but I could guess it will probably be more or less the same. And why is it so? Why is it that we don't reuse more? Is it often we see this unplanned demolition projects, or at least unplanned regarding what should we actually do with the materials when we are doing the demolition. So that's why that was the whole background, that they said we need to make a law that focus on selective demolition, so it's not a choose whatever you do it or not. Because of course we do a lot of selective demolition, but now we need to put a proper law in place, so we put much more focus into that. So the new law, they give the build owners, the clients as we normally, they must prepare a proper demolition plan, and they need to appoint a specific environment and resource coordinator. We knew it from many of our projects, or all our projects. We have a HSE coordinator when we are doing the design, and we also have one on site, and there is a specific describe what they should do every week, what they should follow up on all this. Now we have what we call an environment and resource coordinator. And for the contractor, we need to have license. From July next year, you cannot start a demolish project if you are not a licensed contractor. So at the moment, our Danish contractors that are into this part of the business, they are applying at the moment to get this authorization, this license to carry out demolition. And they also have, a part of that, they also need to have this, we call it a resource manager, or they need to have a specific skills and documented skills regarding resource. And then we have the municipalities. First of all, to apply for a demolition permit, you need to have a much more in place, and also when you have carried out the whole project, your demolition project, you need to send in, and you have to have a approval again. They will look at it again and say, okay, it is actually carried out the way that it was supposed to be. And as I said, the law is in place now. So for this first year, we are training, we are trying to go into place, and it will actually be 100% affected from July next year.